first solo LP.
Yeah.
So congrats on that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So one of the songs on the LP, Normal Faces Are Weird Too, has got those audio clips from the movie Frank. What made you choose that film?
It was just so honest. It was very honest movie, powerful movie. To see a guy that had that disability be so creative and be so innovative, and then let it stop him from doing what he loved to do, I thought that was so cool to me. And watching it just kind of brought the album together for me. I was like, okay, I need to include this in my album for sure. Yeah, it just made sense to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a really well worked in. It's a great song. So then, New York's supposed to be one of the world's biggest melting pots. And do you think that diversity is reflected in the music scene, especially in Brooklyn?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like in New York, and especially for the youth, we're exposed to so much now. So, you got kids that, listen to rock, country, hip hop, all types of things at one time, and they're going to incorporate that in everything they do. Whether it be artistically, or musically, or just in life, the way they dress, the way they talk. You got kids that from New York sound like they're from Houston, so yeah, I feel like it's really awesome to be, this melting pot of culture.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a beautiful gift of New York and of the internet.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned before that you're a big fan of movies and anime and comics. So what do you think of the latest Batman vs Superman film?
It was something. It wasn't terrible. It was terrible if you like the comics because it's not the story that's supposed to happen. But it was a good movie. There was probably one thing I learned from the movie was their mothers had the same name. I was like, oh, why did I never pay attention to that? So I was like, thank you, Zack Snyder, for that one thing you taught me.
Yeah,
in a
one thing in 2 hours.
Yeah.
There's one redeeming moment.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you think were the most difficult parts about writing this album?
Writing it wasn't very difficult. It was more so getting it to a level where I was comfortable with releasing it, and sonically, and just make sure it told the right story. So yeah, writing it was actually probably the easiest part for me because I wrote the album pretty quickly. So it was just getting it to that level where I was comfortable. Okay, this is good. Let me give it to the people now. So.
Cool. All right. Then what's the best concert you've ever been to, and what made it so cool?
I saw D'Angelo at African Festival, probably 2 years or a year ago, and it was so good because it was once again, it's the melting pot of everything, where it was rock and roll, soul, hip hop, funk, and he just did nothing but covers. He didn't do none of his original songs. So for me, that was just so awesome to see him just you know what? I don't care what y'all want me to do. I'm gonna do what I want, and it's still gonna be cool. So I just thought that was so legendary.
Yeah, he's an idol.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Everybody looks up to him.
Him and Prince are top tier.
Oh yeah. There's one music video where Panic at the Disco just basically copied D'Angelo's video, and it was still really cool.
It was still so cool. Yeah, I remember that.
Such a nice shout out to him. Cool. So do you think the act of assigning genre to music is helpful, giving it context for when we're listening to it, or limiting it because we're trying to assign a label to it?
It has its good moments and it has its bad moments. I feel like we give things titles and names because we don't know how to process it. So we need something to help us process it. So we say, oh, this looks like a desk, or this sounds like, Michael Jackson. That we have a scope of where we're gonna go listening to it. But sometimes it's bad because if you put it on and it's not that, or it's a mixture of other things, just okay, well, it's not really just that one thing. So it kind of does limit it to a certain type of people. People won't play something or listen to something because they feel like it's not catered to them without even pressing play, or watching the movie. You have no idea. So it has its good moments and bad moments too.
Okay, cool. Those are all the prepared questions I've got. Do you have any last questions or comments for us?
Just thank you guys for having me here and talking to me and liking what I'm doing. I think this is really cool to see you guys, you know, doing what you love to do and being creative. You know, that's what it's about. You know, so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We're happy to have you here. You can listen to his new LP online on SoundCloud. So definitely go check that out.
Word.
All right. Cool.